Hi, and welcome to the Peregrination podcast. My name is Jason.
And I'm Raj, and you guys are listening to episode number
9. So, what do we do this week, Raj?
This week, we have to congratulate ourselves because
Congratulations!
That's right.
Woohoo!
Do you know why we have to congratulate ourselves?
Because we graduated from Chiang Mai University?
No, we haven't graduated from Chiang Mai University, but we have reached our 3-month mark here in Chiang Mai.
Woohoo!
Can you believe it?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my god. Honestly, I feel like the time has gone by so fast. I cannot believe it's been 3 months already.
What do you feel like it's been?
Jeez, I would say half the time. Like, it's been 6 weeks for me.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I feel like it's been 3 months.
Does it feel slow for you because you're studying?
No, not slow, but it feels like 3 months. Like it feels like it's been a while since we first came. You know, when we were first staying in that hotel and stuff like that.
Oh,
It
yes.
seems like a while ago.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like my perception of time is very different than yours. Like, years seem so much faster for me.
Yeah.
But for you, you always say no,
Yeah.
it's long enough. And
So I have the right perception of time, and you have the wrong? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But so Friday, was it Friday? No, Saturday. We went to Myanmar, right?
Yes.
So the thing is, here we finished our 2 months and we got our extension, and then we were able to stay another month.
Yes. How about we take a step back?
All right.
We had a visa. Yes.
How about we go further? We had a tourist visa.
Yes.
A double entry tourist visa
Mm-hmm.
for Thailand.
Yes.
Which could give you 6 months, but to get the 6 months, you had.
It's valid for 6 months,
Yes.
and you can enter the country twice.
That's right.
And each time you enter, you can only stay for 2 months. But you can extend each stay by another month. So you can get 3 months, and then you'd have to leave the country with an extension, and which is what we had to do this weekend.
Exactly. And then you just repeat the process that you described to get another 3 months.
That's correct.
So
we made the journey to Myanmar. It was exciting, wasn't it?
And
Did you like Myanmar?
And did I like Myanmar? Well, yeah, I liked the bridge, I guess, between Myanmar and Thailand, because that's as far as we went. We didn't even go to Myanmar.
I don't even know if we technically stepped foot on what would be considered Myanmar.
Yeah.
Like, if you looked on a map, like the line between Thailand and Myanmar is probably where we were standing. I don't know if we actually took one step foot technically into Myanmar.
You know what? If I was to guess, I think we didn't step into Myanmar.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, they had this office set up for tourists. It's like
Yeah.
a whole system going on.
Yeah, there's a whole system. People do this all the time, these border runs, just to go and get another visa.
So you go to the border, you get out of Thailand. What was the name of the city that we went to?
Mae Sai?
Mae Sai, right. So you get out of Thailand, they give you a stamp, and then you walk across the bridge halfway.
Yeah, there's like a river or something.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And then they have this office.
Yeah.
And they give you a re-entry stamp.
Yeah, they stamp you. Hey,
no, they give you the stamp for Myanmar.
Hey,
right?
you've been in Myanmar, now you've left Myanmar.
Yeah, so
like,
they give you
pop right there.
2 stamps right there, and then you just take like a U-turn and go right back.
Yeah.
And get your entry stamp.
Hi, you're back in Thailand now.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
It
that
seems
was
so stupid when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
You have to like it takes like 3.5 to 4 hours just to drive to the border from here.
4 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
if there's traffic or something, like it takes longer.
Right.
And so you're traveling 8 hours total.
Yeah.
Just to get a stamp. And you're like, oh man, this is the kind of bureaucracy and stuff that I hate.
Yeah, and then you have to also
so
pay
dumb.
500 baht once you get to the border.
Right, yeah, you have to pay the Myanmar folks for your visa.
Yeah. So we took a minibus. Were you any bit hesitant to take the minibus?
Yeah, well, we've had minibus adventures before, if you recall. Last time we were traveling, not last time we were traveling in Thailand, but last time we had rode a minibus in Thailand, we were traveling to the border for Malaysia.
Yes, but this time, to Malaysia, that's right.
Yeah.
I think this was back in 2011. Yeah,
That
during that
sounds
part
about
of the
right,
trip.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, so...
We weren't doing a border run, we were actually planning on going into Malaysia.
Right, we had to leave the country because our time was up.
Yes, it was our last day.
So we were in a rush to get out, otherwise we would be fined 500 baht.
Yeah.
So we decided to take a minibus.
Yeah,
No,
that was
minivan.
Yeah,
Minivan.
it was a they call it minibus. But
Okay.
yeah, it was our only option to get to the border properly.
Right.
So yeah, I forget what the name of the border town was there, but yeah, it was getting like later and later, and we're driving, and the guy's speeding along the highway.
And then Dun, dun, dun.
Kaboom!
What
happened?
The tire at the front.
No, it was at
the front or the back?
It was
the
at the
back tire came right
like
off.
literally fell right off the whole wheel. Like not just the tire like falling apart. Like the wheel literally
came off.
Came right off.
Right.
So all there was like this bare metal rod sticking out.
Yeah.
And creating all these sparks on the highway and stuff. And we were so lucky. Like the car could have flipped or something.
Totally could have. The driver was awesome though.
Yeah.
He knew how to control
Yeah, he totally
it.
kept it under control and just brought it to the side of the road and
Yeah.
stopped right there.
Yeah. And then do you remember how far back the tire was when they were trying to look for it?
Oh, yeah.
The army came,
Yeah,
right?
the army came because we were in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what was really cool is how those nice local people stopped too.
Yeah, I really like that. You know, it really shows you what the Thai people are made of. They came and they comforted us.
They gave us food.
They gave us food and they just sat with us.
Yeah.
Because we were feeling kind of like, oh my God, we just had a near-death experience here almost.
We're out here in the middle of nowhere. Well, it's safe to say, though, we didn't make it to the border in time.
We did or didn't?
Didn't.
Yeah, we didn't. I was going to say, I thought you just said did. No, we didn't. So our lives, oh no, it's raining.
Yeah, can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really coming down right now.
The show must go on.
Exactly.
So despite all our efforts of rushing to the border, we ended up paying 500 baht.
Yeah.
And getting it like noted on our on our passport that we were late, right?
Yes.
So
not a big deal though.
Yeah. So I just wanted to know, so were you comfortable sitting in a mini bus again after that?
Yeah, I mean, we've ridden other mini buses and stuff. The drivers are always crazy. Something you get used to. Right? Like, it's like taxi drivers in Korea and stuff, too. They're just nuts. So, it was fine. The thing I was worried about more is just space, and that obviously became an issue for us.
Yes. Do you want to talk about that?
It's not a big deal, but there's no leg room whatsoever.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
It's pretty tight.
Yeah.
I was considering for this trip first to do the green bus, which is another option if you want to do a border run. But I found it, even though that you could get it translated into English, I just found it really...
A hassle
to go through, and
you have to get all the way to the bus station. Then you take the bus, and it doesn't take you all the way to the border.
Yeah.
Then you have to get across the border and come back, and then wait for your bus.
Yeah.
Whereas with the minibus, they pick you right up from where you live, drive you straight to the border. You turn around, go in, come back, and they take you straight back to your place. Like, it's door to door, straight up, no waiting, no going around and doing other stuff. So you pay a bit more, but the legroom and stuff, like we said, sucks. But I don't know, man. It's just, you want to get it over with. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, and it is worth it.
Yeah.
Because it saves you a lot of time and a hassle.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like doing something else after, maybe you could take the bus there, cross the border, and then go to like Chiang Rai or something instead. Like, if you're planning on traveling around, the bus might be the better way to do it. But if you're staying here and you just want to go there, get your crap done, and come back, then I think minibus is better for us for sure.
So overall, a success. So here we are. We have 2 more months in Chiang Mai if we want, or in Thailand for sure. Anyway, It doesn't have to be Chiang Mai.
Yes.
So yay!
Yay!
We did it.
We're here for a while more.
Yes.
All
so
right.
how are you liking it after 3 months? Do you still enjoy it?
Oh, it's still great. Like, you heard it's raining outside. This has been like the first day of rain in like weeks, I feel like.
Yeah. You know what I did today?
The weather's been so beautiful.
Yeah,
what did you do today?
Today, while you were sleeping, I went outside and I enjoyed our balcony.
Yes. Nice.
First, it was nice and sunny, so I was just chilling out, and it just reminded me like how beautiful it is to be in Thailand right now.
Yeah, remember it's January. Like, I just heard on the news or something, there's like a huge snowstorm.
Oh, really?
In like America. Yeah, like in Washington, they're getting like 30 inches of snow or something like that.
Ooh, I'm feeling cold already listening to you. But then you know what happened while I was on the balcony? Out of nowhere, I could just see the clouds starting to get dark, and then a little bit of rain came, and then more and more, and before I knew it, there was like a storm.
Downpour.
A downpour. But it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was so peaceful. It was nice. And I think it only lasted about 15 minutes. And then bright sun.
Yeah.
Like, it never happened.
Right.
This is Thailand.
Yep. I mean, it hasn't rained in a while, but it kind of needed it, It feels more refreshing afterwards, so it's been good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's been our week. That was our big event this week, really, making that run for the border. We're feeling good.
Yes.
Still having good times in Chiang Mai.
That's right.
Yeah, so question of the week this week.
No question of the week this week for you. Lucky you.
Oh, yeah?
Do you have a question?
I have a question.
Oh, yes. Okay, what is it?
What has been the most memorable border crossing for you?
Oh my God, hands down, when we went from India to Nepal.
I knew you were going to say that.
Totally.
Why?
Because do you remember when we went from India to Nepal, we just literally walked into the country, or we could have walked into the country without, maybe we did walk into the country now if I remember clearly.
We kind of did, yeah.
Yeah, and we had to back up, and we were like, wait a second, we just came into Nepal and no one's asked us or anything.
Yeah.
And we could have just kept going, but then we thought maybe we'll get into trouble later, so we better go back and get that stamp.
There's basically a sign, like a big sign over the road that's like, hey, welcome to Nepal or something. And then you can just like literally walk across and keep going.
Yeah.
Like no one's... I think we got our stamp to get out of India, right?
Right.
Because the office was right there. We could see it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, we probably could have just walked without getting that either. But then we walked into Nepal and just... Yeah, I mean, like, the office is just off to the side. There's nobody out, like, checking. There's all these cars and trucks going by all the time. Like, it's
laid back.
Yeah, man, it's so weird.
We were like laughing.
Yeah.
We're like, what the heck? This is
man.
A border between two countries.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Man, if you're ever like a fugitive on the run, that's where to go, man. Nobody will know.
Remember, you heard it here first. What was the actual border city? Do you remember?
Geez, I have no idea.
I
Yeah,
just
somewhere in northern India.
Yeah, we were going from Varanasi.
Yeah, and we
and
took the
heading
train up to Border Town.
Yeah, that was a crossing.
We'll call it Border Town.
Yeah. So what about you? What has been your most memorable border crossing?
Yeah, definitely that one. Although I also liked the one when we went from Malaysia to Singapore, from Kuala Lumpur. Just because that bus ride was so good. It was like riding in style, and then you just cross, and like the crossing was so easy, and then you're in Singapore. La la la.
Oh, I remember the smile you had on your face when we went on that bus. That was the biggest seat on a bus I've seen, you know?
Yeah.
If there was a first class bus, that would be it.
Right. But yeah, if I have one that's the most memorable.
Yeah.
The first time we went from Jordan to Israel. Crossed over into Israel.
Why was that?
Because they held us for like hours.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. Why I'm even asking you this question? I would know. I was a victim.
Yeah.
Like, it took, 3 hours to get into Israel?
Oh, yeah. And like, there's other people like just going through, no time. The lineup itself was only like 20 minutes long or something.
Right.
Then they pulled us aside because we had been to Syria.
Yes.
And we had Syrian stamps in our passports. And obviously they don't get along so well. And so, yeah, they were just questioning us and like x-raying us. And oh my gosh, it took forever. And they're like, what's your grandfather's maiden name? Not grandfather, grandmother's maiden name.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. And they're like, why don't you know? And I was like, oh God, I don't know. Yeah. And I felt like they questioned me way more than
Really?
you.
I don't
know.
so.
I just felt like there was question
They questioned
after
us separately, didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah, so... I
don't know. Maybe I'm just getting mixed up with how much I was questioned while I was in Israel, you know? Yeah. Because when I was in Israel, remember, it wasn't no border crossing, but it was a crossing for me every time I entered any kind of place, right? Yeah. Every security section, they stopped me and you'd walked right through, right?
But that was like the first time where I'd ever had any hassle crossing a border. Because most of the time, you're Canadian, you have a visa, you don't really get too much issue, but oh man, such a hassle.
Hey, talking about border crossings, remember after our long trip, when we came back to
also
Canada?
Probably because we had a Syrian stamp on our passport.
The Canadian immigration pulled us aside, and they were just like,
but they were just like, hey, how's it going? Are you cool?
Yeah.
It took no time at all.
But still, I was offended a little bit. I was like, come on, dude, it was a woman. I was like, come on, we're Canadians. But she couldn't understand why we had gone away for like a year, It was just like, we're traveling for a year. She's like, okay, sure you are. Go over here, to the right. But we were able to get in.
That didn't take that long at all. Yeah. It was no big deal.
Yeah. Oh, lots of border crossings.
Yeah, lots more to come too.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's it for this week. Yeah. Thanks for joining me, Rash.
Oh, you're welcome, Jason. Thanks, everyone, for listening.
Yes, thank you very much. And don't forget, as usual, check out us on iTunes.
Soundcloud.
YouTube.
Facebook, is this a game?
Instagram.
Twitter.
Website.
Okay, you win.
Yay! Yeah, so find us there. Please, like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. It really helps us out.
Yes. And also, I will be publishing a video about the Chiang Mai Zoo, finally.
Yay!
Tomorrow or today.
Yeah, I got all my pictures done a while ago, so the video is going to have a bunch of those in there. There's some really good shots.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, we hope that you guys have a good week.
Oh, you should have said Flickr. We're on Flickr, too.
Oh, that's right, Flickr. You win. You win hands down, dude.
Yeah,
you
what
win.
else is new?
Okay, well, everybody, thanks for listening, and hopefully you learned something if you are planning on doing any kind of border crossing to Myanmar, I guess, or doing a run.
Yeah,
visa
border run, visa run. Yep.
So if you have any questions about that, you can also comment.
Yeah. Find us on one of those things we just mentioned and leave us a comment or ask us a question or whatever.
And we'll get back to you. Okay.
Okay. See ya.
Bye.